Most people don't quit because they're lazy. They quit because they're tired of disappointing themselves. You start with good intentions, a plan, a promise. This time, I'll stick to it. But a few days later, life shows up, you miss one night, then another. And suddenly, quitting feels easier than trying again. Here's the strange part. Some people don't keep going because they're strong. They keep going because someone is watching, not judging, just quietly counting on them. This is a story about a man who couldn't keep a promise to himself until a very small promise became something he couldn't walk away from. Ray is 38. He works nights at a warehouse on the edge of the city. Long shifts, concrete floors, the kind of job where time stretches and your body learns to move without asking your mind for permission. He's also a single dad. They live in a small apartment where the walls are thin and the floor always feels a little cold. Every Sunday evening, Ray and his daughter carry a laundry basket down the hall to the shared laundry room. Plastic chairs, flickering lights, the hum of old machines that never quite stop shaking. Some nights, his daughter falls asleep on the chair before the dryer is done. Her head tilted, one shoe halfway off. Ray watches her and thinks the same thought he's had for years. I should be doing better than this. He's not irresponsible. He pays the bills. He shows up to work. But somewhere along the way, he stopped trusting himself with bigger promises. Not because he didn't care, but because every time he tried, he didn't last. Ray has a pattern. Every few months, usually late on a Sunday night, he opens his phone and makes a plan. Gym membership, an online course, a new resume file titled final_version. For a few days, he feels almost hopeful. Like maybe this time, something will finally change. Then a shift runs late. His daughter gets sick. The laundry piles up. Sleep gets shorter. He misses one night. Just one. He tells himself, it's fine. He'll start again tomorrow. But tomorrow turns into silence. The gym bag stays by the door, untouched. The course login expires. The resume never gets opened again. Ray doesn't talk about it. He's learned not to. What hurts more than failing is watching his daughter notice the pattern. She doesn't say anything. She just stops asking questions, stops asking what he's working on, stops asking when things will change. And somehow, that quiet feels heavier than any argument ever could. Ray isn't afraid of hard work. He's afraid of hoping again and letting her see him give up. So he keeps his world small, manageable, safe. No big promises, no big dreams, just getting through the week. The idea doesn't come from a book or a podcast or some late-night moment of inspiration. It comes from exhaustion. One night, after putting his daughter to bed, Ray stands in the kitchen staring at a sink full of dishes. Not angry, just empty. He thinks about everything he's promised himself before, and how every promise eventually became something he avoided looking at. So this time he does something different. He takes a small scrap of paper, writes 2 words on it. 3 minutes. Nothing more. No goal. No plan. No future version of himself. Just 3 minutes. The rule is simple. If he can do 3 minutes of anything, cleaning, stretching, reading, fixing something, he's allowed to stop after. No guilt. No catching up. Ray tapes the paper to his backpack. Not because it's important, but because he doesn't want to lose it. That night, he stands at the counter and washes exactly 3 minutes worth of dishes. When the timer ends, he stops. It doesn't feel impressive. It doesn't feel motivating. But for the first time in a long while, he doesn't feel like he failed. The laundry room smells like detergent and warm metal. Ray sits on one of the plastic chairs, scrolling his phone while the machines rumble. His daughter swings her legs, counting the tiles on the floor. She notices the paper on his backpack. "Daddy," she asks, pointing. "What's 3 minutes?" Ray doesn't look up right away. "It's nothing," he says. "Just something I'm trying." She thinks for a moment, then nods. That night, after her bath, she sits on the edge of her bed, while Ray stands by the door. "Okay," she says. "You can start." "Start what?" Ray asks. She presses the button on the small kitchen timer she's holding. It begins to tick. "You're 3 minutes," she says. "You said you only need 3. Ray freezes. She doesn't say it like a question. She says it like a rule she's already accepted. He sits down beside her. They don't do anything special. She shows him a picture she drew at school. A house. 2 stick figures. A crooked sun. When the timer beeps, she looks at it, then at him. "Okay," she says softly. "That's enough." She lies down and turns on her side. Ray stays sitting there long after she falls asleep. He realizes something he didn't mean to do. What was just a way to trick himself into starting has quietly become a promise he never intended to make. And for the first time, quitting doesn't feel like something he can do alone. The next night, Ray doesn't feel different. He's still tired. Still sore from work. Still unsure where any of this is going. But when he gets home, his daughter is already waiting. She's sitting on the couch with a timer in her hands. Not asking. Just ready. Ray almost says something. Almost explains that the 3 minutes were never meant for this. Instead, he sits down. Some nights, they draw. Some nights, they fold one small pile of laundry together. Some nights, they just sit in silence. Exactly 3 minutes. When the timer beeps, she never asks for more. She never complains. She just smiles, like something important has been completed. Ray starts to notice something strange. He still doesn't feel motivated. There's no rush, no excitement, but he shows up anyway. Not because he believes in himself, not because he suddenly has a plan, because across the room, someone is watching the clock, not to see when he'll stop, but to trust that he won't disappear. The work stays small, the progress almost invisible, but the quitting, that becomes harder. Not because it's impossible, but because it would mean breaking something that feels fragile. And Ray has learned that some fragile things don't survive a second time. Ray doesn't suddenly become disciplined. His life doesn't turn around overnight. He still works the same job, still lives in the same apartment, still gets tired in the same ways. But something has shifted. He no longer asks himself, "Do I feel like doing this?" He asks something smaller, something quieter. "Can I stay? Just for 3 minutes?" Sometimes that's all it takes. Not to change your life, but to stop disappearing from it. And maybe the reason some things never get finished isn't because we lack motivation, but because no one is standing close enough to see us try. If this story felt familiar, you're not alone. In the next video, Ray will face a moment where 3 minutes won't feel like enough, and he'll have to decide what really keeps him showing up. If you want to stay with the story, you know where to find it. And if you'd like, tell me in the comments, what's one small promise you've made that someone else might be quietly counting on?